Holy crap, these books are heavy. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my April TBR. So March happened and it turned out to be a pretty busy month. In spite of that, I did manage to read a lot of books. However, I did not read a lot of books that I promised I would. That's why I'm starting my April TBR with the books that I'm still reading or I have not finished yet, and they kind of got carried over from my March TBR. And the first book on my list is Sherlock Holmes stories. As you know, I am on an epic reread of Sherlock Holmes stories and I'm listening to all of them in audio. I'm currently reading, or rather listening to, memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, so my goal for April is to finish them. Next book on my list is also the one that I'm still reading, and this is Everless by Sarah Holland. I've been reading this book for almost, I think, close to 2 months now, or definitely over a month, because I started it and I'm still like 1/3 into the book. I like the concept of the world, so this is a YA fantasy book in which blood is money, essentially, and you can give away your blood and give away your time to pay for things. I love this concept, however, the writing is just not too engaging for me for some reason. I'm hoping to finish this book in April nevertheless, because it's not that big and it's from the library. Obviously there are other people that want to read it and I feel bad about hoarding it, but I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I'm enjoying it when I'm reading it, but I don't feel the urge to pick it up, if you know what I mean. Next on my list is the book that got carried over from March TBR, and this is actually a play, The Josephine Knot by Meg Bram, and this is the play which was provided to me by Playwrights Canada Press in exchange of free and honest review. I'm looking forward to reading this play, I just never got around to it in March. This is a story about a family that deals with loss and also comes back together, and there's a lot of, I believe, dysfunctional elements to the story. I cannot really tell you more about it, and I'm looking forward to reading it. As you know, I'm a huge fan of theater and contemporary plays, so hope to get to it very soon, and still in love with this cover, like seriously. Next book is a March release that I also never got to in March, and this is The Beauty That Remains by Ashley Woodfolk. This is a YA contemporary book about loss and grief as well. I got it from Penguin Random House Canada, also in exchange of a free and honest review, for which I'm very grateful. I picked this book because I like the topic, and this is a story about 3 teenagers that come together by their shared love for music, but also by their shared grief. We have one character who deals with the loss of his boyfriend, another character who deals with the loss of best friend, and also another one who deals with the loss of twin sister, I believe. And I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I just never got around to it in March because March was a crazy month. Let's just be honest. I also have several e-arcs that I never got around to reading, and I got those from NetGalley. They were all released in March, so I kind of feel bad about not reading them, but like I said, March was a pretty crazy month, very busy for me, so hopefully I will catch up with those in April. And as always, links to the books will be down below in the description box, since I don't want to take a lot of time talking about every single one of them. But as always, I'm excited about books, so... Speaking of e-arcs, I managed to get a copy of The Savior's Champion by Jenna Moresi, and you probably heard of Jenna Moresi on AuthorTube because she's also a fellow AuthorTuber, writer, self-published author, and she has a new book coming out on April 24th. The Savior's Champion is a YA fantasy book, and it focuses on the main protagonist who enters the tournament to fight for the chance of being on the Savior's side to become a ruler as well, and the Savior is a girl of eligible age, I believe. To be honest, I don't know much about that book beyond that because there are some reviews on Goodreads, but I'm trying to stay away from those so that they do not affect my own opinion. I did request this book from Jenna because I think she's a lovely human being and she's also extremely funny. She does videos on writing and provides advice twice a week, I believe. I'll provide the link down below to her channel as well. Super excited about this book. I hope it will will not disappoint, but the cover is really, really cool. Next book on my list is Lost in Living by Caleb Rorick, and I've been meaning to read this book for months. I actually purchased it last year, I believe, and the reason why I have not read it, I cannot really explain it, but I really want to read it because the sequel to this book is coming out in April. This is a YA contemporary thriller about the boy named Flynn. His girlfriend is missing and everyone is questioning him. Some stories do not add up, so he doesn't know what's going on and he really wants to find his girlfriend, but at the same time he has a secret of his own. I'm getting a lot of vibes from this book. I know that there is an LGBT element to this book as well, and I'm super excited to read it because I also have a sequel. Ta-da! This is White Rabbit, which is a sequel to Lost in Living. Obviously, I'm not looking at the blurb because I'm afraid of spoilers. I got this copy thanks to my fellow book lover and book blogger, Melissa, for which I'm very grateful. And this book is coming out on April 24th, so I really need to read first book and also the sequel. Next, I have The Swan Riders by Erin Bow, and I read The Scorpion Rules last month. Had some mixed feelings about it, however, I still wanted to continue with the sequel because I was curious about what is going to happen with the main protagonist, Greta, and we never learned that in book number 1, obviously, so I picked up book number 2 from the library, and even though I did own a physical copy of The Scorpion Rules, I listened to it in audio, which I think might have spoiled my perception of that book, so I decided to give a second book a go as a physical book. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'm not going to talk much about the plot, but I just wanted to say that this is a sci-fi dystopian young adult duology, and there is a lot of representation from LGBT spectrum there. I still had some issues with this book, like the book number 1 in the duology, but I also heard from some book bloggers who read this duology that second book is better. Keeping my fingers crossed. I do like the cover, and you wouldn't believe how many times I almost purchased second book without reading first book, and now I'm super grateful that I did not do that because I would be stuck with 2 books by now. Anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. Next, I have this guy, and this is obviously Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which is third and I believe final book in the Illuminae Files series. I might be wrong, but I think it's the final book. Anyway, so being on a sci-fi streak last month, I decided to listen to Illuminae in audio because everyone I know on BookTube and in real life, whoever read these books, everyone swears by audiobooks. When I picked up Illuminae 2 years ago, I think that book was just way overhyped for me. That's why I had very mixed feelings about it, and I even gave it 3 stars. More so, I gave the plot 2 stars, and just the physical implementation of all the elements and the formatting 5 stars, which kind of brought it to 3 stars overall. I'll provide the link down below to my review on my blog. And I was so disappointed by the fact that everyone seemed to love Illuminae, and I was just like, meh, I don't know. So I read Gemina as well, and I thought Gemina was better. But when everyone started reading Obsidio and everyone was just like, oh my god, the audiobook is amazing, I thought that before I jump into this book, I will actually give audiobooks a go. So now as it stands, right now, I'm listening to, and I'm almost done with the first book, Illuminae, and I will talk about it later, but I just want to say that the audiobook definitely deserves all the praise it's getting. However, the plot still sucks. And I will try to get and listen to Gemina because I want to marathon the whole series and then get to Obsidio. So this book is from the library and it's due back to the library, I believe, mid-April. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'll be able to listen to the second book, Gemina, very quickly and then go through this one. Not sure if I will manage to get the audio and the physical copy at the same time, because some of the people that I talked to actually mentioned that reading and listening to an audiobook is pretty awesome. I think it might be a bit too much for me just because I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I'm at work, so I cannot really physically read a book. But I'm going to give it a go, and I'm just excited about the fact that I managed to get a copy from the library, because I put it on hold, I believe, months before release date. It was released in March, as you know, but I put it, I think, like back in 2017. That's why I managed to get the copy right after the release date. I also would like to hear from people who read the Illuminate Files, books 1 and 2, obviously no spoilers for Obsidio, please, and who maybe was not as impressed by the plot as I was. I'm just really curious because everyone seems to love these books, and I do feel that they're slightly overhyped. Okay, this is it. This is my whole TBR, and now I just calculated the number of books that I'm planning to read in April, and it feels way more intimidating than I thought it would be at first, because I have like 6 ebooks, 6 physical books, 1 play, and 4 audiobooks. Wow. Well, actually 1 audiobook I'm almost done with, so let's just say 3.5, but still, oh my god, what am I thinking? Anyway, it's gonna be alright. I know I can read a lot in 1 month, and hopefully April will not be as crazy as March. Oh wait. I just remembered that I'm doing Camp NaNoWriMo. Oh shit. Anyway, it will be all fine. All good, people. I will read those books, I promise. Whew. All jokes aside, I am participating in Camp NaNoWriMo, and I'll be vlogging and posting writing updates on every Sunday, so watch this YouTube channel. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below if you read any of the books that I mentioned, and as always, I welcome all the comments. I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys! So the bags under my eyes, yes, I know you can see them. They're extra big right now because I had an absolutely glorious nap, but this is what happens when you nap when you're not supposed to. And I totally napped instead of working. Just saying. Adulting. I just realized that I misspelled the name of the book on my list, and this is just my life. And I did not misspell it because I did not know how to spell. I misspelled it because I thought it was a different word. It's gonna be a very special announcement on April 14th, I think. God. I need to get my schedule together.